Hi, Marianne with Fresh Pair of Eyes. How are you?
Hi, Ariana. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So,
Good.
Outlander is celebrating 10 years this year. What would you say has been your favorite memory, whether it was a particular scene, a fan encounter, something behind the scenes?
Honestly, it's funny you asked that now because it feels quite poetic being in New York for Comic Con. Because probably one of my fondest memories, I think, was when we came. I think it was on the season 2 press tour, and just being at Comic Con for the first time and meeting the fans. I think when we are shooting, we are so sort of locked away in the Highlands of Scotland that we don't really see the reception of the show, and we don't get to celebrate the love of it with the fans. And so, being able to do that is one of my favorite things and biggest highlights.
How would you say that your character has changed since you have started playing her till now? She has grown so much as a woman, but how would you have to say that she has changed the most?
I think she's a lot slower in her reactions. So whether that's emotionally or physically, I think she takes a minute to kind of check in with herself and see how she's feeling about something and assess the situation better. I think she's less angry to her core, even though more's happened to her and she's had some unspeakable things happen to her in the time. I think ironically, she doesn't let it sit with her as much. And I think that she's better at reaching out for help to her family around her and letting people in. And I think her stoicism has melted away over the years, and I'm really proud of her about that.
That's great. If you were a time traveler, would you rather meet your ancestors or your descendants and why? Or would you just leave them alone?
Ooh, great question. I think I'd rather meet my descendants. I think I'd rather be able to give helpful advice than receive it. Like I can, it's nicer to pass the torch. I'd love to receive it too, but I think I'd rather help out the offspring. Sounds intense.
Yes. So we're getting a prequel series about your character's grandparents' love stories in a sense. Which character would you love to kind of learn about and for them to have a prequel series, whether we've seen them before or they're a descendant or ancestor of someone?
I mean, I think there were rumors of a John Gray series, which I think would be great. I mean, I'm super proud of the topics that this show covers, and I'm super proud of I'm in awe of the job that David has done with John Gray. And I think one thing that's quite sad about this show is that we only have so much time, and it's such a rich story that there's some things that only get touched upon, and actually they could do with so much more airtime and so much more depth into them. And so I think a Lord John spin-off would be really, really great.
What have you kind of learned about yourself by playing Brianna all of these years?
Good question. I've definitely learned some things from Brianna. I think we're both quite similar in that we're both quite stubborn. But I have definitely learned to be less English and less apologetic for myself and for my presence. And so I think what I've learned about myself is more necessarily just stuff that she's taught me, which is kind of just be fearlessly you and just see where that takes you. And don't hurt people, but stick to you and don't apologize for it. And that's definitely something that she's taught me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I hope to talk to you about this project soon and future projects.
Thanks, Rihanna. Me too. Appreciate it. Enjoy the
Awesome.
season.